from Tampa Bay's #1 news station. This is Good Day Tampa Bay.
You know, the summer flew by us. It's already back to school time. And here's an interesting question for you. Who is responsible for your child when they're at school? Think about that. Attorney Dale Appel joins us. Good to see you. You, Wrestle Lawyers, here till 9:30, taking calls, bottom of the screen. So give us a call if you have any legal questions. Let's get back to it. Schools are considered a safe place. I know that. But accidents do happen. And you were telling me before we started here, parents are responsible for some things.
Absolutely. There's certain things that they're responsible for. So, for example, if your child takes a can of spray paint and spray paints all the lockers, they're responsible as a parent for that vandalism. And there's a statute that says that. So there's definitely certain acts that they're responsible for. Or they're responsible if they're send their kid to school not by the bus, but they're old enough to drive, and they help to get their kid the license. They have to sign something saying they're responsible for any damages, personal injury, property damages that their kid caused on the way to school. Then there's other situations too where they're responsible.
And you were telling me another thing, that if you are aware that your kid may have an habitual problem, like beating up other kids or something like that, I'm just pulling one out there.
Absolutely.
You could be responsible. You're responsible for that as well.
Sure. So there's situations, what I just mentioned was what they call legislative or statutory law. There's common law issues like you're just bringing up. So, for example, if you send your kid to school and say, you know, I want you to go beat up so-and-so, you're considered to be the agent of that kid. Or if you entrust your kid with a knife, and the knife is used in bullying, you could be responsible for any damages your kid causes in using that knife. Or, as you mentioned about the habitual activity, if your kid has a propensity to be bullying or cause injury to other kids, and you don't warn the school, you don't put the kid in a different type of school environment, and then the kid goes and injures somebody, you could be held responsible for that because you could have and should have prevented it and had reason to be aware of the problems that your child can create.
I saw a story on the news in the last few days. It's a heartbreaking story, and I'm not exactly sure where it happened, but there was a little girl. She was bullied online, phone, all of that. And she was a young child, 10 years old. She took her own life because of the bullying. Parents are now suing that school district for this bullying that resulted in this child's death. I mean, school districts do have some liability as well in taking care of kids while they're there, right?
They can be held liable. Whether or not they'll be found liable is a different situation. But if the school knew about the bullying, what was going on online, and didn't take action, and you can say that a reasonable person, a reasonable teacher, a reasonable school would have taken action, they can potentially be held responsible. But just remember that the school has certain things called sovereign immunity, which limits and caps the amount of damages that you can pursue against the school. But the school definitely can have responsibility for your child when they're under their care, whether it be on the bus or actually on the school grounds.
Interesting, interesting. All right, reminder, lawyers are here till 9:30, taking your calls. We're running the numbers at the bottom of your screen. Dale's going to get back to the phones, answer your call. Hey, thank you, my friend.
You are welcome.
Always good to see you. And thanks to all your friends who are here with us this morning. Laura.
Yeah, we always love having them.